guys, thank you for watching and welcome to my channel. Today's video is last minute Valentine's Day makeup look. Before you go, I hope you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll get notified every time I upload a video. Like the video and share it, and let's get started. I'm going to start by taking this hair back, obviously, and I hope you don't mind my natural hair. I already moisturized and now it's time for the primer, and for my T-zone I'm using the Smashbox Photo Finish, the pore minimizing one. Just around my nose, and that's the mirror over here too. And I try to press it into the pores. For my cheeks I'm using the primer water, the Smashbox Photo Finish primer water. I'm going to drink my coffee until this dries out. Best thing in the world. For today's look, I'm going full on glam, full on coverage, and the foundation I'm using is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer. And I have it in the shade 16 Toasted Wheat M-G. Gonna dab some on my face, and that's an extreme coverage foundation, so I will try not to go overboard with it. Of course I say that and I'm drawing on my face. I'm going to use the L'Oreal sponge. This can be a little bit too dark because that's my summer shade, but I will add concealer and try to make it work over here. For concealer, I'll be using the Tarte Shape Tape in light neutral, and that's my winter shade. Okay. And with this concealer, I don't go with the full triangle. I just dab some over here and then take it in a triangular shape with the sponge. This is extreme. You don't need too much. A little bit goes very long way. As you can see, I'm dabbing like dots. I'm going to use the Coty Air Sponge to set and lightly bake. I make sure I don't have any creases first. I will let this like do its thing until I do my brows. Don't mind my nails, they are chipped. That's real life. I'm using the Benefit Brow for my brows in number 4. We have brows, I'm going to dust away the baking, and I'll be using the same concealer to prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow. And then I'm going to set it with any powder you have. I'm using the this shade from the contour palette, the light one. And that's a small tapered brush by e.l.f. I'm going to do the same for this eye. The eyeshadow palette I'm using today is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. I'm starting the look with Warm Taupe. That's my first transition. and I want to completely buff it into the crease. I don't need a color, I need a wash, a hint, a shadow of color. Next I'm using Buen Fresco, and I'm going lower than the warm taupe, and I'm using the NYX number 16. It's like a crease brush. And I am building the color. I tap the excess so I don't have an explosion of color that's so difficult to blend. So I start a little bit by a little bit and build it up. Then, as I mentioned in my eyeshadow tutorial, previous brush, previous shade, so the edges are blended. And that's the first brush I use. It's a Morphe M510. Next shade I'm using is the Love Letter, this fuchsia over here. It's beautiful. I'm using the It Cosmetics Airbrush Blending Shadow number 107, I guess. Previous brush, previous color. The previous color over here is Buen Fresco, and I'm buffing the edges of Love Letter. I'm going with Love Letter again because I need to build this color up. Previous brush, previous shade. For the outer corner, I'm using the Morphe M433, and I am mixing these two shades over here. Cypress Umber and Venetian Red. No, Love Letter. Love Letter. Because I don't want like straight brown or dark brown. I need some plummy shade. So I'm making the Love Letter darker by mixing it with the Cypress Umber one. Then I'm using the It Cosmetics and blending this shade with Love Letter. I'm blending the edges again using Buen Fresco. Then I'm using So Susan brush, and I don't have any idea what's the name of the brush over here. Any flat brush will do this. And now I'm using the Venetian Red. It's the same as Love Letter, but it has kind of a sheen to it, so I'm taking it 2/3 into my actual eyelid. I know it looks a little bit messy. It's gonna come together at the end. I'm going to do the shimmer lighter shade at the end, but for now I'm going to work on my lower lash line. I'm using the Valentine contour eyeshadow number 4, and I am using Buen Fresco. This one. I'm blending the lower edges over here, and I'm taking it to the lower lash line, so everything is working in harmony, not against each other, like working with each other. Any flat top brush, and I'm pushing the two dark colors, Cypress Umber mixed with Love Letter, really close to my water line. Before doing that, I'm actually going to line my water line using the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On, and it's in Perversion. I'm using this brush to smudge this line over here so it's not a harsh line, it's smoked and blended. This brush I got in the Ulta palette, and I'm using Buen Fresco to smudge this lower lash line. I'm gonna use a concealer and apply it on the inner third so I can apply my inner shimmer, the lighter shimmer. The shimmer shade I'm using is Primavera over here, the goldeny one. And I'll be using my applicator over here. It's not going to be a harsh line like that. It's going to be blended, but I'm going to do the same for this eye, then come back to blend. I'm going to use to blend this a completely clean brush. Using this brush from e.l.f. to clean up under the eyebrows, and I'm using Tempera over here. I need a fluffier one. Actually, I'll be using the e.l.f. $1 blending brush to blend under the brows and on this corner over here to clean it up. I applied more of the shimmery shade over here, the Primavera one. Right now I'm gonna do liner and be right back. The liner I used is the M Cosmetics Illustrative Eyeliner Brush Tip. It's a very good one. For mascara, I'll be using two mascaras. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my last video. I'm using the Tarte Light and Camera Lashes and the Tarte Tartiest, because one of them is, oh, it's the other side, a brush tip, and that's very good for volume, and the other one is spiky, and it's very good to give length and make it more wispier and not clumpy. I will do that and be right back. When I said I'll be right back, that including me picking up my daughter from school, and when I looked at the dreadful rear view mirror, I discovered that I have the shadow over here too low, so I'm gonna blend it out with some powder, then go back to the face. And what you do is you grab it on any detail, that's not detail, any like precise brush, and you blend it out. And if you want to go even more sharp, and that's actually a dry beauty sponge, I just tamp it, brush it away right away, problem solved. For my face, I'm going to use the Royal & Langnickel powder brush, or the Moda powder brush. The powder I'm using is the NYX Professional No Filter.
I'm sorry to distract you from your video.
That's okay.
I can distract you from your video because you did some nice swimming suit. My first day.
There.
Thanks, Mom.
The contour palette I'm using is the Bronze Booster by Physicians Formula. And I'm mixing these two shades over here. This brush is a discovery. I actually found it at the 99-cent store. I know Walmart used to carry this brand. I guess it's called Essential Tools. And that's the blusher. Yes, the blusher. But the shape, do you see that? It's pointed and tapered and thin. It's made for contouring. And let's say you are in a hurry, like right now I am in a hurry. I have to get my daughter to the swimming class. So I use it for my nose contour. It's this precise. For bronzer, I'm using the Becca Sunlit Bronzer, and that's the shade Bronzed Bondi. For blush, I am using the Amazonian Clay, the Tarte Amazonian Clay in Feisty, and the Sonia Kashuk blusher. Remember I told you that it was on extreme sale in Target? Guess what, guys? I can't use any of Sonia Kashuk products again in my videos because they are no longer on the market. She's gonna just produce brushes and makeup bags and no makeup anymore. For highlighter, I am using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. You know what? I prefer this brush now for highlighter. Yes, for a reason. It's much softer. My Cupid's bow. Tip of my nose. The exclamation mark. Line over here. What do you think? I sprayed some MAC mineralized charged water on my cheeks to let everything melt back into my skin, and then reapplied my highlighter using a fan brush. It's a Real Techniques one, and this one is perfect to reapply because then it's not over the board, it's just a little bit more. Then use the same highlighter to highlight my inner corners over here. For the lips, I'm using the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick, and it's Ipsy Unzipped. I got it in Ipsy, but I guess the shade works perfectly with the look. To lock everything back in place, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray. I wish you all a happy and romantic Valentine's Day. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and like it. If you do, thumb up, don't forget. And before you go, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video. Until the next one, bye.